New York City's former mayor, Michael Bloomberg, reportedly now considering a presidential run. Reports say the billionaire sees an opening for what he calls a centrist candidate, and he's instructing advisors to draw up plans that would be contingent on a Ted Cruz or Donald Trump versus Bernie Sanders matchup. Does he have a chance as a third-party candidate? Leslie Marshall is a radio host and Fox News contributor. Mark Larson, Southern California radio talk show host. Welcome to both of you. This seems like a year, Leslie, when we have thrown out the rule book. So why not have an independent billionaire former mayor run for president?
Well, you know what? At first I was like, what? But I have to say, if any time is the time, now is the time. This is the year to do something like this. Not just because I'm a Democrat, John, and I want that vote split a la Ralph Nader, but because this is a man who appeals to really where the country is and is going. Country leans a little more right fiscally, certainly seems to be leaning a little more left on social issues. And that's where those voters that are going to make the difference in this election, the centrists, the moderates, the undecided, even who are really sick of the establishment and the party, that's where they could put their vote. The Republican Party right now is very split. They don't even like their top two guys, Trump and Cruz. So I think it's a good time, but I don't think he should wait for a nomination. I think he should throw his hat into the ring now for the momentum.
Mark, does Michael Bloomberg have any chance at all of winning the presidency?
He's got plenty of money, and that's what it's all about right now. I mean, even ISIS has a strategy to get a lot of video out there, and unearned money you get on TV, it helps you work well. Just the idea he's thinking about it, I would agree with what I heard Rubio say over the weekend, that if he officially gets in, then they can talk about it. Right now, it's not just any divisions on the Republican side, Leslie, with all due respect, that there's enough dividing going on there with the president's wrapping himself around Hillary, and she's been doing it to him, much to the irritation of Bernie Sanders, who, of course, loves a couple of billionaires maybe in the race, too.
Let's hear what Bernie Sanders had to say when he heard that, pardon me, that Michael Bloomberg might be getting into the race. Donald Trump as well. Here they go.
If Donald Trump wins and Mr. Bloomberg gets in, you're going to have two multi-billionaires running for president of the United States against me. And I think the American people do not want to see our nation move toward an oligarchy where billionaires control the political process. I think we'll win that election.
I would love to have him get in the race.
One of the reasons
he's very opposite on me with guns, and he's opposite on pro-life, and he's opposite on a lot of things. So I would love to have Michael get in the race, but I don't know if he's going to do it, but I hope he does. I would love to compete against Michael.
So they are both welcoming Michael Bloomberg to the race because they both seem to think they can beat him. Leslie?
Well, I think it's interesting. Like I said, I know Senator Sanders. I like him. I respect him. But he is not an impoverished man, although many people might think that because he talks about Hillary and he talks about Donald. You know, most people at this level have a lot of money or have a lot of people with a lot of money, even if it is an online grassroots effort through the internet with millennials. It takes a lot of cash, I agree with Mark, to be in and to stay in this game. That's no big surprise. But we look at somebody who has billions with a B like Donald Trump doing so well, so why not Bloomberg? That obviously is not throwing off the American people, the money involved in this game, except for the Bernie supporters. So he really shouldn't care. His supporters aren't necessarily going to go to Bloomberg, at least on the issue of income inequality.
Does Donald Trump's self-funded campaign and the prospect of Michael Bloomberg getting in and doing the same, does that suggest that people are upset, Mark, with the role of money in politics and all of these big PACs and so forth?
I think it first suggests that, let's face it, both sides have a lot of egos that love to run for the big prize here. I think it suggests that Bloomberg wants to get into his own news cycle to an extent. I think it'd be interesting if he was running as a Republican, as he once did, just to see him on the debate stage, because he is, shall we say, Madisonian in height. May not play in today's media world. But on the Bernie Sanders issue, this does help play into his millionaires, billionaires, gazillionaires. I thought this Politico interview was interesting that President Obama did that was released today, where he's talking about Bernie as the bright, shiny object out there. Well, he's more than a bright, shiny object. He is actually playing into the class warfare kind of thing. Hillary plays it now. President Obama isn't just some observer out there, like he makes it appear that somehow that goes on and it doesn't matter. What we haven't seen is what will be 8 years of Obama-styled socialism in its variety of forms setting the stage, which is why Bernie is a big concern for them. It's a concern for Hillary's campaign. They'd prefer the voter turnout with the Democrats to be a little lower to help her. That's why, Leslie, I'm sure you'd love to see a Nader-like split up on some of the Republicans, too, if Bloomberg came as an independent. But this could be big for Bernie.
We'll see who gets ultimately nominated and whether that forces Mike Bloomberg or encourages Mike Bloomberg to get himself into the race. Mark Larson, Leslie Marshall, got to say goodbye. Thank you both.
Thank you.